Are you feeling failed by your fertility? This week, I want to discuss one simple strategy that can have you winning automatically every day. I have told you before, I don't really care for the word failure. It is not in my vocabulary. I like to see things as lessons learned on our journey in life. And I know it can be challenging, especially when we are on a journey to conception. I personally am not on that journey right now with you. However, I have had moments of failure or perceived failure. So I can explain and talk to you from that standpoint, maybe not necessarily an infertility diagnosis standpoint or trying to conceive standpoint, but I know where you're coming from. I have seen it with the couples that I work with and friends and family members that have been on that journey themselves. As women, it's very innate for us to want to provide a child for our spouse and to grow our family and grow our love in that way. So I can understand if you've been on that journey and it's been more challenging than you would love for it to be. I think growing up in the US, that's one lesson that I've learned on this journey of life is it's not always rainbows and sunshine when it comes to dating, getting married, and having kids. I think when we grow up, or at least when I grew up, that was the biggest conversation was about, that's what we're here to do. We're gonna get married, we're gonna have kids, and all those things. But as I've gotten older, I have realized that that's not always the case. Not only do not all families want to have babies, but there are times where it's more challenging for certain couples to conceive and can be slightly, if you will, insensitive to ask those questions or hard for the couple that is trying to conceive to hear those questions. So I think when we hear those questions when we're on that journey, we just feel like a failure because we haven't provided that child yet. And it can be years down the line. We've been married for a couple of years. We have been trying to have that kid and it's just not happening. So I can understand your frustration and pain when family members, friends, and well-intentioned people that don't really know you ask these questions and how you feel like that failure. You're really not. Let me explain that. You are not a failure. You are worthy of your goals and dreams. And one thing you can incorporate into your daily practices is going to be asking the question, what are 3 things that I won at today? It is really quite that simple. I like doing it right before I go to bed, and I'll explain some of that reasoning in a moment. But asking yourself, what did I win at today? It's one of those things that, like, when we're growing up, we're learning how to walk, we're learning how to talk. We get so much praise from family, from our parents. And as we get older, we forget to give ourselves praise for the little things that we do throughout the day. Now, there are days when it can be more challenging, and your 3 wins for the day could be that you showered, you pooped, and you made your bed. It can be that simple. There are some days where that is what is on my list. There are some days where it's more extravagant, where it's excitement because I helped a new couple. It could be excitement because we got a job promotion or we traveled across the world on our own. Like, there's so many different big wins, but then we can also look at our little micro wins. What are the cool little things that you did throughout the day? Did you go for a walk today for yourself? Did you make you and your partner a healthy meal? Did you go to the bathroom? Like, all the little things, all the big things, you get to write about those daily. And I think it's such a great practice to keep you grounded and mindful of what are wins, what are we celebrating. And it's really cool if you're able to share that with your partner. Because the biggest thing is when we go to sleep, if we are listening to technology, we're scrolling Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or we're listening to the news and we're listening to all the scary stories that are out there, it just makes our sleep and our dreams just not as restful as they could be. So I like focusing on those 3 wins for the day so I can set myself up for success, not only with dreaming, but success for the next day as well. In terms of the failure mindset on some of this, I know it can be challenging to see wins when you've had some really challenging and really tough days. And I would like you to rephrase or rewire some of those thoughts. And one way to do that is if you had a loss today, such as a miscarriage, one way to rephrase it as a win would be, I got pregnant. There's a possibility that I can do this again. If you had an unexplained infertility diagnosis, one win that you can gain from that is that you don't have answers yet. There is still a solution out there for you. If you are having crazy menstrual cramps, one win that you could have is that you signed up to work with me. It is that simple. You can reframe how you're looking at your entire day by focusing not only on like the positive, but also focusing on what is good and what is a win for the day. Now, the biggest thing when we are writing down these wins is I want them on pen and paper or pencil and paper. It can be scrap paper. You can get a journal for it. What I like to do is I have this next to my bed. So I have my mason jar, I have my notes, and I like color. So I write on different little notes of what my 3 wins were for the day. And what's cool about keeping it this way is if I am having a super challenging day or at the end of the year, I can open this up and look at all of these. I can look at all the wins that I had for the day, especially on those tough days when things just aren't making sense, when it's just tough out there some days. So you got to have these so that you can focus on your wins, because there are so many more wins in life than we ever give ourselves credit for. It is really that simple to do. Incorporating your 3 wins into your nightly routine is going to help you out so much on your journey in life. It doesn't have to be super extravagant of journaling pages and pages and pages. We all have to start somewhere. This has been a good start for me to get back into journaling. I wanted to be a journaler when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade. It just didn't happen for a variety of reasons. But this has been a great way to focus on what truly does matter, which is every little baby step in the right direction towards our goals and life dreams. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you've done before or you're going to incorporate into your day. If you ever want to tell me what your wins are, you can totally tell me in my DMs, email me, or put it in the comments. I'd love to hear what your wins for the day are. And I hope you're having a fabulous rest of the day. We'll chat soon. If you'd like to follow along for more health tips, fertility, and pregnancy, I am here for you, and I will be launching shortly on the 1st of April a mindset workshop, so be on the lookout for that. Have a good day. Bye. Simple things. I won't say that this is easy. It's personally been a challenge for me on my journey